What's up, everyone? This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added, here on WINJECT TV, powered by WINJECT Studios. And I'm so happy that you're here. I am really loving everything that's happening with WINJECT and how we are creating this amazing community with podcasters and podcast consumers and course creators and all of this amazing stuff. And I really, really appreciate all that is happening here and how we're growing. And so I wanted to invite you to go ahead and go on to winject.com, and you can go to /archive/Neena Perez, or just go to straighttalknosugaradded.com and click join my community. And you can just go on there, create your profile, and start interacting with everything we have going on back there. And you'll see some excited that you have joined me here today. But before we move on, I want to make sure that you guys do your homework. Make sure you smash that like button, share this away right now, and make sure that you subscribe to WINJECT TV, because it's not just Straight Talk that's on here. We have a lot of amazing shows that come on WINJECT TV here, and we have so many great topics, whether it's health or brain or, you know, mindset or business and entrepreneurship and the whole deal. And so I want to make sure that I promote that, because we have amazing people on here, right? So make sure you go ahead and do that, because that is your homework. Click, 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 click. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you go on and just put comment down there, replay, so I know. And if you're actually watching live right now, go ahead and interact with me live, because I love to see you pop up on here and talk to me while I'm here. All right. So thank you guys. And for those of you who are just coming in, go ahead and go to winject.com /archive/ Neena Perez, and then you can go ahead and join my community. It's free. Just go on there, build your profile and all that great stuff. And so I want to see you behind there. Okay. So today I wanted to talk about, you know, like I've been really on this kick with our mind and how our mind has been, you know, how our mind works in our subconscious and conscious mind and all that. And the reason I've been doing that is because I've been trying to get, good morning, I've been trying to get through a lot of challenges in my life. And I know that it starts in the mind. And I know that I have had a long time in my life where I really, really struggled about having control of my mind, having control of my thoughts. And so today I want to talk about you are in control. And I was like thinking about this. I was talking to my husband this morning, like, what should I talk about? I think this is what I want to talk about. And he mentioned something that I'm going to really put into this as well. So always remember that the only person that can change you is you. You are the one in control of your thoughts, and nobody else can do that. Nobody else. And I wish I had somebody to come in and do that for me, because it's a lot of work, but it's freaking worth it, right? What people say can influence your thoughts, can influence the way you act, the way you see things, but ultimately the way that you process this information, the way that you process stuff coming at you, it really comes down to you. It comes down to your thoughts. It comes down to who you are as a person and what lens you have come to life with, right? We all have a different map that we've taken in life. And so it gives us different perspectives, and every perspective should be respected, right? So we all have these negative thoughts that come at us. And I don't know about you, but I get them often. And when I get these negative thoughts, it is up to me, right, to do something with that. Because even people who have a mind flow or a mindset to win at life and to really go forward, you're going to experience negative thoughts. And if you let them, these negative thoughts will totally destroy your dreams, and they will prevent you from moving forward. And that's just facts. Okay. Because I know when I have been sitting a little too long in negative thoughts, because I see things like kind of leaving me, if you will, like my dreams go and my negative thoughts come in. Love that. Every perspective should be respected. Right. And that's the thing. Like, and we always like, we have this thought that we think that people who are winners, or people winners, meaning like people who are successful in what they love to do, we think that they have it all together and that they don't have negative thoughts and that they don't go through crap, but that's not true. Right. And we have to like know that everybody's going to have negative thoughts, and everybody's going to have a way of feeling defeated. and a way of maybe having their dreams feel like they are diminishing and they are not going as you planned. But the answer, I think, is to really kind of like immediately neutralize that negative thought with something positive or a different perspective, because it can be that simple. There's many times where I am really beating myself up about something because I am really someone who is driven by, production and seeing things aligned and organization and all of that. And so it's really, really difficult that you can actually start to really sit in your negativity a little too much, or having other people influence you in that negative way. And honestly, the answer is simple: neutralize that bad boy. As soon as that negative thought comes in, as soon as something negative comes in that's going to stop you, you need to change the way you see that. The practice of doing this is going to be a little bit harder because you're going to have to be persistent. You're going to really have to be persistent at wanting to change your mind. Nobody can do this shit for you. You got to do it yourself, right? And for you to actually take a negative thought and turn it into positive, it's going to be something that you're going to constantly have to do, right? Because negative people, guys, they are always going to end up in your life one way or another, right? Negative people always end up in your life. And what happens is that if you're the one that's negative, right, you're going to end up always seeing the negative things in your life. You don't want to see the positive because the negative just feels more comfortable, right? So when you are defeated, like, oh, I'm always taking 2 steps forward and 20 steps back, and that is your attitude, that is always how you're going to see things and not see things as progression, right? Positive people, or people with a mindset to actually move forward, they are more likely to get what they want. I know, sucks, right? You want to stay negative and get what you want. That's not going to happen. You got to change your mind, right? So which one do you want to be? Like, that's literally a question you got to ask yourself all the time. Which one do I want to be? Like, this negative person that I am right now, is this who I really want to be? Now, most people, I think we're somewhere in the middle, right? We're not negative, we're not positive, right? But we try to like swing on one side or another. And what happens is that, if you are a longer process, or stay longer in that negative, the positive is harder to find. So the reason that negative people get what they don't want is because that is literally what they are focused on, is the negative. They don't want it, but they're focused on it, right? And that's what happens. Like, I was listening to a talk, and they were talking about skiers, and they were saying that skiers don't see the things the way we do. Like, so I'm not a skier. I don't like snow. I don't ski. My husband's a skier. I am not, right? So I see, oh my gosh, all those trees, they're going to hit a tree. But a skier doesn't see the trees. He sees the path, right? I was listening to this thing, and I was speaking to I have an Olympic guy actually that I work with, and he was a skier, a snowboarder. And he was, and they were saying how you look at the path. Where's the path? Where's the path? Not where's the trees? Where's the trees? Because if they only focus on the tree, all they will see is trees. They will hit the tree. But if they see the path, all they will do is focus on the path. I thought that was so powerful, right? Because if you think about that in life, this is what we do, right? I have too many bills. I have too many bills. I have too many bills. I can't pay. I'm in debt, blah, 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 blah. And that's all you think about, and not looking at, wait a second, I have a business. How do I grow it? How do I, let people know about this? How do I turn this into a positive, right? And that is really, I thought that was just such a cool way to look at things. And being that I'm not a skier, I didn't know that, but it just makes total sense, right? Negative people focus on bad things, so they get bad things in return, right? And people who have a mind that they want to engage and make active and positive, they focus on those good things, they get those good things in return. Not always. I'm not saying shit doesn't happen, guys, okay? What I'm saying is that even when the crap is there, you know what I'm saying? You use it as fertilizer as opposed to it stinking. Got it? Right? So you have to get rid of all of this negativity, and there is a lot of it. There is a lot of it, right? And it is time for you and I to be selfish. If you are truly wanting to develop a mind to win, all of us have to be a little bit selfish. All right. And what that means is you're going to have to really take a look at who you have around your circle. Who is in your family? Who are your friends? Are these people negative? Are they dragging you down? Who is your neighbor? Who is your coworker? Who is your boss? Who is whatever? Look at these things and ask yourself, do these people tend to be negative? These people spend as much time as they can complaining around you and bitching and moaning and whatever have you. And before you know it, you are there too, right? I don't do well with people who don't take on their own responsibilities, like those people who just blame everyone else and it's never their fault, right? I don't do good with people like that because I point people's crap out immediately, right? And each time that you are in the company of people like this who are negative and who have this way of looking at life where it's everybody else's fault, I don't care how strong you are, this will eventually impact you. And until you have developed this mindset, I call it a mind flow, to actually move forward and win and have that mental like strength, right, that you need, you're not going to be able to deal with these negative people for a long term. You might be able to do it for a little bit, but the truth is that their negative crap starts to fall into your brain. And before you know it, you're thinking about the crap they said, like if it was important, right? It is ridiculous for me to suggest that you will never meet negative people again, that you'll never have negative people in your life. That's bullcrap. Of course you will. Some of them will be the people that you love the most, your family, your friends, right? People that you really, really, really love, and you've been around them for years. But I do recommend you cutting some time down from them. You don't have to cut them out if you don't want to. Of course not. They're your loved ones. But I do recommend them maybe spending an enormous amount of time talking about things that you know they're going to bring out something negative. You might want to cut that down a bit. And I know that that's tough, especially if it's a spousal situation or a parent situation or things like that. But there are ways to kind of go around that. Just don't just absorb shit because people want to throw that on you, right? When you're in their company and they start to question you about what you're doing, about how you're handling business, about what you're, creating, whatever, and you know that negative comment and criticism is going to come, right? So cut it. Don't do it. Only share that with people that you know will give you good criticism and or encourage what you're doing, right? It's like this saying that's in scripture that says, don't throw your pearls to the swine. Like you don't want to throw all of your gems, all of your pearls to the swine, right? Because they'll trample on them. What is that? If you're consistent enough with always being optimistic, then people in your presence refuse to be negative. Trust me. Thank you, Chris. That is true. But there's some people, Chris, that you cannot change. Like they are just negative because they just are negative. And there's so many of those around, right? But I agree with you. Like if you're positive, eventually they will shift as well. But it also goes the other way. If these people are constantly negative, right? You tend to also be, even though you're trying not to be, right? Like it's like if you're in a bad marriage or a bad relationship or just having a crappy day and you come home, everybody's in a good mood. You come home in a bad mood and everybody now is in a bad mood, right? That energy flows, right? So if anyone says to you that you will never be able to do that or you can't do this or whatever, they're saying you can and cannot do, like they're just trying to knock that down immediately. Like what I said before, neutralize that. If they say you can't do it, you say, I can do anything I want to do. Okay. And I know that some people are like, oh, come on, Neen, really? Is that easy? It kind of is that easy, right? The other good way is to deal with the negativity of others, to treat it like it's their opinion and not yours, right? Just like everybody has a butthole, everybody has an opinion, right? And some of them love to force their crap on you. I call them the Roy police. Rest of y'all. That's funny, right? So everybody has a butthole. Everybody has an opinion, and they're always trying to throw their crap on you. And I know because since I am always talking, right? I'm always on the air. I'm always doing a podcast. I'm always doing something. There's always people with these really nasty ways of talking to you and their opinions. And I've had to deal with that, criticism, or I don't even know what you call that. It's just nasty, right? And when you hear something negative, just think to yourself, this is their opinion, like their butthole. They got one. And it is, that doesn't mean I need to think about what they have to say. Not all criticism is bad. I don't want you to think that. If someone that you respect, truly respect, tries to give you constructive criticism about the way you are doing something, then always listen, because that's out of love. That's out of a place of really wanting you to achieve in your life. They're just trying to give you the right path, right? But when you believe that that criticism is unjustified, and it's wrong, and it's going against what you want to do, but because they think you should do it this way, this is just their opinion. It doesn't mean it's right, right? But if it's something valuable to you, and it's something that you think that will help you, then thank that person for pointing it out. As an example, you may have decided to hire a mentor. You may have decided to hire a coach, a therapist, whatever it is, to help you achieve this goal in your life that you want to achieve. They may say to you, well, Neen, you're doing ABC wrong. You have to take that if that's really truth, and then say, you know what, thank you for that, pointing it out, and do something about it. This person has done what you are already trying to achieve, right? Like, so if you have a mentor, this person is already where you want to be, right? So if they're telling you that you're doing ABC wrong because they've done that, tried it failed, so do it this way, listen. Just listen. Listen to what they tell you. It's your choice whether you accept the advice or not, but don't just brush everything off as you know everything, because you don't, right? So another thing I strongly recommend is that you avoid spending hours on social media. Yo, it is getting toxic out there, okay? Not getting, is toxic. There are tons of negativity, negative messages, like everything coming at you in this social space, and you think you can handle it. Like, I know in the beginning, I knew I can handle it. I'm all that, I can handle it. And then it gets under your skin, right? And you may think you can handle it in the beginning, but it really starts to wear on you. People's stupidity and their nastiness and their power behind the damn keys is really annoying, right? So I'm not telling you to stay off of social media, especially if this is something that you have to use for business, but just cut down the time that you're spending on it. Your whole life doesn't have to be social media. Have you been outside yet? Did you go for a walk yet? Have you had dinner with your family yet? Like, have you gone out for a nice cup of coffee with a friend? Like, do other things, okay? So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about people, the toxicity of people around you. And then, of course, the news on TV, right? Some people just can't miss the news. Oh my God, I have friends that all they talk about is what the news said, and half of it is bull crap, right? So some people just can't get away from the negativity. They just can't get away from bringing themselves to not hear the news in the morning. Like, my advice, stop watching the news. Okay, stop it, especially in the morning. Don't start your day off with a lot of negative bull crap, right? So just don't do it. Don't surround yourself with negativity. Don't surround yourself with social media. Don't surround yourself with the news, especially in the morning. That is a precious time for your brain. You've just woken up from a beautiful sleep. Do not let your brain get bombarded with crap first thing in the morning, right? Controlling your own thoughts is your power. That's your power. If you receive a negative comment from another person, then you are less likely to believe this, and you're going to have this negative thought, right? You're not controlling what you're thinking. So here's the thing. I was talking to a friend, and they were telling me about someone I know, and the someone I know had something negative to say about me, right? I was a little bit gasped. I couldn't believe this person said that, but they did, right? And then I realized, am I going to allow this person's negativity towards me behind my back, of course, because in my face, it's all hee hee ha ha, right? But behind my back, it wasn't like that. So then you have to think to yourself, am I going to be controlling my thoughts, or is this person going to be controlling my thoughts? How are we going to work this, Neen? How are we going to work this, right? Because if you trust yourself, and you know yourself, then trust yourself more than you trust anyone else. Love yourself more than you love that other person. Love yourself more. And I'm not saying don't love them. What I'm saying is you have to control what you think about, and you can't be worried about what everybody's opinion is and what they say, because look, this person that I'm speaking about, I thought we had a great, synchrony of a relationship, right? But then when you hear something like negative, like the person told me, and I'm not saying that the person is telling the truth or not, right? But it's irrelevant. Either way, somebody's saying something negative, right? So if you allow that, you're gonna go down with the ship. And I can't have that. Right? If you suddenly start thinking, wow, why are they saying that? Or I can't really do this. And I don't know if I can. Or why is this happening to me? If you're going through all of that, it's going to have a much more impact on yourself and what you're telling yourself. You have to be careful with that, right? So other people's negative cannot be your story. Their negative can't be your story, right? So what you need to do is act quickly on this negative thought. Immediately cancel this. Immediately neutralize it, right? I can do anything. Oh, this person thought that of me. Well, that's okay. They have the right to their opinion, like they have an asshole, right? They are just jealous. Maybe. Yeah, maybe, right? But I can't be worried about their negativity and their jealousy impacting my story, impacting who I am, because that's going to quickly spiral me down. And then everything I'm trying to do in my life and all the things that I'm trying to create and have in my life are going to be impacted by the negativity of this person's jealousy, thought process, anger issues, unloyalty, whatever it is, right? You do not want that negative thought entering your mind and then embedding itself into your subconscious, because that's what happens. Why do you think all of us don't think we can do something? We have imposter syndrome. We don't think we're good enough. Those thoughts came from somewhere. They came from somewhere, and it probably came from your childhood or a trauma or a bad deal you made or a friend that you thought was a friend and realized quickly that they weren't. Like that kind of stuff starts to mess with you, right? Because it stays there. It's embedded. It's a repeat. You rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, and this is a problem, right? If you don't neutralize your thoughts, then your subconscious will start believing it. And then before you know it, you're going to start acting like it. And that's just facts, right? That is just a fact. You need to break those existing things in your brain. So those connections that are already connected in your brain, right, that are actually bringing you these negative thoughts, they need to be broken, right? So do you ever like sit there and like wonder, my God, why do I keep thinking like this? Why does this keep happening? Why is this, person still doing this? And why am I letting it affect me? Right? These thoughts are dominating you. And this happens to everyone. This happens, I don't care who you are. This happens to everyone. Okay. And if you're having some of those problems and issues, whether it's financial, oh my God, I went through this for so many years financially. Oh, like we can't get through it. We can't get it. We can't, we're losing our home. We're losing this. We're getting evicted. All these stuff just kept happening over and over and over again. And I just kept focusing on the problem instead of focusing on the energy that I needed to bring up something new in my life and be able to move forward, and what creativity would come from that, right? This will make you weak. It'll weaken your energy. It'll weaken your energy thought process. It'll weaken about what you're doing. And you are going to really, well, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail because you're not putting your mind into where it needs to be. The answer is to focus on a solution. What is the best way for me to be able to move forward from this relationship with this person? Probably better to just minimize it as much as possible. And if need be, break it off. That's all. It's simple. But does that mean that, I continually, after I break it off or minimize it for the rest of my life, need to go? No, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. So you need to ask yourself, what is the solution to this problem? The positive solution to this problem. And your subconscious, believe it or not, it's going to help you come up with some really great ideas. All right. Because you're going to end up freeing yourself and freeing your mind from all this negative bullcrap that everybody throws at you. And you will have more energy and more thought process and more clarity to go ahead and tackle that problem that came up and that issue that's in front of your face. Right. So you need to remember that you've gone through some stuff. I've talked about this in the past. You have evidence that you have kicked life's ass at some point in your life. You have evidence. So use the past as a reference of things that you have overcome and how you overcame them, right? We all have an ability to have a mind flow that wins and that pushes us forward into our life where we want to go. It is up to you, though. Ain't nobody gonna come save you. Ain't nobody gonna come push you. Nobody's gonna come save you. It's just not gonna happen, right? You need to know that you have been through some stuff in the past, and the same way you got your tail through those things in the past, it's the same way you have to do it right now. Don't dwell on any mistakes. Don't start thinking about what you've done in the past. That, oh my God, boo-hoo, I remember when I did that. It's done. It's over. That chapter is finished. Now, what do we learn and how do we move forward? Too many people, and I was one of them, dwell in that past and just sit there moaning and groaning about everything I've been through in life. It is so tiring. Anybody feel that way? Like sometimes when you have to keep talking about the same old shit, like you're like, I am just so tired of talking about this, right? So just because you failed at something in the past doesn't mean that you're always going to fail. It's not true. That's not true. It's just not true universally. It's not true in your life. It's just not true. Just because you failed at some things does not mean that you will always fail, right? And having like failure is good because it teaches your behind how to maybe move things around and not do it that way. My husband is a contractor, right? So he builds houses. Now he does this kind of work that is absolutely stunning and unbelievable. I'm like, how did you learn that, right? How did he learn? He messed up a lot of times. And then he's like, wait, you know what? If you angle it this way, blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, he has this masterpiece in front of him, right? So don't let your past prevent you from succeeding today. I am not, and I don't want you either. I'm so sick of it, right? So if you let your past control you and you keep running these wrong messages in your mind and your subconscious, you are going to be exactly where you want to be, which is stuck, right? It strengthens you. It strengthens the belief that you can't do it, that you failed already. Like, how long are you going to sit there for real, right? Do you have a habit of giving up all the time? Like somebody told me to do this, but I'll try it. You try it a day and then you stop trying and then you're frustrated because it didn't work. Really though, right? Do you have a habit of giving up? And if you do, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing? Right? What is that? The biggest lesson to learn? I can't see it. Hold on. The biggest lesson to learn is when you can't control the outcome. That's true. At least control how you respond to things that were sent to destroy your peace. I love that. The biggest lesson to learn is when you can't control the outcome, at least control how you respond to the things that were sent to destroy your peace. Chris, that was really deep. And I love that. And that is absolutely true, right? And you do have to do that. You do have to sit and wonder, right? Like, okay, this is here now. What do I do with this, right? If you do this, is this thing where you sit in your garbage all the time and you're asking yourself, why do you do it? You gave yourself the answers because you keep doing it, right? It's because you keep doing it. You keep letting the past influence where you are today. So how do you leave it? How do you walk away from it? What do you do? It's all about controlling your thoughts. It's all, like I said in the beginning, neutralizing the negative. When you are going to start something new and the thought comes to your head like, I will not stick to this. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do it. This is too hard. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish this. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to give up, blah, 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 whatever that is. If you keep saying that to yourself, then don't be surprised. Why are you shocked all of a sudden that you're not doing it? Right? It's because you're literally calling into existence, if you will, what it is that you're doing. If you're telling yourself that you're not going to stick to it, guess what? You're not going to stick to it. If you're going to tell yourself that you can't actually accomplish the dream you want to accomplish, guess what? You're not going to accomplish it. There's no magic here, right? You need to be persistent and make this work for you. I can't make you do this. You got to do this. There's no magic spell. There's no control, overnight, spell of thoughts to control your thoughts. You need to be persistent. You need to neutralize your negative thoughts, and you need to know that you can go forward. You need to put a positive spin on the negative crap, right? Use that garbage, that crap in your life for fertilizer of where you're going, right? And this is how you now start to control your thoughts. Take advantage of the fact that you can think, right? You can think. Use it. Use your mind, right? Tell yourself you can. As soon as that negative comes in, neutralize that bad boy and keep it moving. Don't stay there anymore. You are in control. All right. So yes, things are going to be negative. Yes, crap is going to come. Life is going to get hard. It always does. But that doesn't mean you give up. That means that you can actually get through it because you've done it before. If you have to create a list of all the negative and positive affirmations and negative thoughts, I don't care. Do that. But what you need to do is make sure that you are actually learning that you are the one with the mental toughness. You are the one that has to control your life. You are the one that has to get to the next chapter. How do you want to get to the next chapter? Do you want to get to the next chapter with still this chapter open and you're still dealing with crap? Or do you want to close the chapter on the crap and go ahead and put that fertilizer in and plant the new seeds? That's up to you. I can't do anything but sit here and encourage you and yell at you like I've done all morning. But you guys are amazing. I wanted to just come on here and just tell you that our thought process are really holding us back. I've been dealing with that all week, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. And also the people that you are worried about judging you and surrounding you, limit those things around you that are going to really impact you. And don't be surprised if you start thinking positive and positive things happen. I need you to move forward, not backwards. Thank you guys for being here. I love you. This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. Until next time.
This broadcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.